not panic, we're in over our heads again. We know this is what we're meant to do. So we wake up, put our feet on the floor, go and conquer the day like a warrior, like warriors. Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right, that's right. No need to panic anymore. We got lots of support and an army of warriors by our side. We fight the good fight when we unite. We fight the good fight when we unite. Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life.
Happy Monday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Coffee Shop Show with Explore ProTech. My name is Sondra Ray. I am the owner of Get It Done Coaching, and I will be co-hosting with the amazing Peter today. James has another commitment. So today we are talking about relationship building as an entrepreneur. And if you know anything about Explore ProTech, that is the basis, mission statement, all the great things, and I am super grateful. I was just telling Peter, relationship building has actually saved my bacon in the last week with people being able to help me do things that I wasn't my plan for them to help me, but they jumped in and were like, no, let's get this done. And I'm super grateful. I even had a photo shoot with Miss Joanna yesterday. So I forgot to tell you that, Peter. So we did that yesterday for this getting ready for this relaunch in March. So all the people are helping me get the things done. But let's check in. How are you, Peter?
I don't think I could be better, and if I could, I probably wouldn't tell you. I'm doing great. Thanks, Sondra.
All right, you are going to talk a little bit about this because you've already written a blog about it, and you are the expert. Go for it.
Oh, okay. So in this space, we've created the space where every week we're going to be talking about a topic, and we're going to be highlighting a particular individual, whether it be Rob, whether it be Nastine, whether it be myself. My topic happened to be relationship building in a professional sense. And I think this is something that I've actually waged war on. The reality is that the environment that we're supposed to develop professional relationships has been watered down. It's been dulled down. It's been so professionalized that it's just about professionalism, and it's got nothing to do with relationship building. It's gotten to a point now where you mention a networking event, and people know without a doubt that you are arriving into a space where they're going to sell you something. It's become a marketing ploy. It's become backwards. It's become twisted. Me personally, I think that's unacceptable. A relationship building space, a networking event, when you think of the word networking and you think about what's happening within the industry, it's like chalk and cheese. It's not being the environment is not conducive to building real, authentic, professional relationships, because you're just the audience, and it's just a marketing strategy. It's just a ploy. And I think it's fake, and it's a load of rubbish. So, to those people that are out there that are hosting networking events, 90% of them are just rubbish. There are 10%, and not just myself in my own space. There are networking groups out there doing incredible work. actually fostering and building spaces for people to connect, build, and get to know each other. And I think that's important. And I think we need to take the space back. That 10%, we need to fight. We need to take back the space that is the space for building professional relationships. It's gotten to a point where you invite somebody to a networking event and their first thought is, what book am I buying? What course am I buying? What's being sold to me? What do I have to pay to be in this space? How is this going to work? How is this going to affect my pocket? When in reality, what should happen is people should be going, oh, great, it's an opportunity to meet people. So this is the battle that we're fighting at the moment. And I think it's an important battle. I kind of created this space, which to me are basic lessons from the sandbox. We learned these lessons when we were infants and we were put into the sandbox with other children, and we learned the ability to share. We learned the ability to work together, dig a hole. Let's dig a hole. We're working together. But as we seem to grow up, we lost those lessons. We lost the ability to work together. We lost the ability to share. And it all became about me, I, and that just doesn't work. So if you're looking to build real, meaningful professional relationships, those things that we've learned as adults, they've got to change. We've got to go back to the roots. We've got to go back to the beginning, back to when we were able to share, able to build together, able to laugh together, able to see each other as humans and not as just a potential client, able to see somebody as a person and not just a sale. So in writing this blog post, I just poured myself into the blog post and go, these are the things I despise. And I'm sure that there are thousands of people out there that despise exactly the same thing. So now it's time to create a space where we can build meaningful professional relationships, where we see each other as humans, where we can actually listen to people. Because nowadays a meeting is not about listening to anyone. It's about pushing your product and making a sale. You're creating the wrong space. You're not building a relationship, you're pushing a sale. So in order to build a professional, meaningful relationship, you've got to listen. You've got to understand who the person is that you're talking to. You've got to understand, what skills do they have? What skills do they have that I don't? What skills do I have that they don't? How can we be beneficial to each other? What can we build together? How can I help you? Maybe I can introduce you to the person that actually needs your product instead of you shoving it down my throat. How can I promote you? How can you promote me? How can we work together? And unfortunately, these are things that we're not practicing. And I've been to hundreds of networking events, and most of the time I'm just severely disappointed. It's like going to an in-person networking event and collecting 1,000 business cards and then just using them because your coffee table is unbalanced. It doesn't make any sense. We actually want to get to the point where we can surround ourselves with people that have skills we don't. This last week, meeting Gareth and Sondra, I know that you'll agree, saved my bacon. Took the time to get to know him. He took the time to get to know me. We took the time to figure out, how can Gareth function within my space? How can I create a space that Gareth can function in? That's led to Gareth's first client, and it's not me. I'm not the client. It's just about working together, being strategic, choosing which relationships you're going to focus on. In the blog post, I did drop a couple of tips that you can take to heart, or you can look at it as if you're looking at it from the marketing perspective and go, this is the biggest load of rubbish, this is not going to work. Well, I built this entire space using those principles. So if you think it's not going to work, then you probably shouldn't be practicing it. In this space, the principles are pretty simple. Be authentic. Go through we will give access to the blog. Do yourself a favor, go through it, read through the tips and tricks. It's just some of the tips, the basics. Be a good listener. It doesn't take much to just take your time to actually listen. It's not about pushing, it's about listening. Share. You don't have to sell something to somebody. You're just sharing with them what you have. And they get to share what they have. Share with each other. It's a very easy concept. But buy this now for $99.99 doesn't work anymore. And it should never have worked in the first place. That's my personal opinion. When you listen, you get to know somebody. So here's a good tip. When you get to know somebody, follow up. It helps to build and secure and cement that relationship. This person's actually paying interest in me. They're following up not on the business. They're following up on me, which makes me feel great. That's how you solidify a relationship. A very important tip, please be yourself. Arriving with a persona in a space where you're supposed to be building authentic relationships doesn't do anything for you, and it doesn't do anything for the person listening to you because they can smell it from a mile away. People being genuine and authentic creates a space where there's trust, where people can get to know each other, but you arrive as the persona of a secondhand car salesman trying to push into a space and push. But then after you've finished, you've become... No, just be yourself. Be yourself, relax in the space, be open to listening to people, hearing who they are. Here's another important tip. Don't limit yourself to building relationships just within your industry. Diversify. Build relationships outside of your industry. Build relationships with people that have skills offset from your industry. You'll be surprised how that all comes together and creates a bigger picture. Now, if I look at Explore ProTech, this place would not exist without the multiple people from multiple backgrounds with multiple sets of skills, all with one common goal, building one space. I did not build Explore ProTech. I created the space. The people in the space built Explore ProTech. And I can look at those people on the screen right now. This is Explore ProTech. So if you think don't know what I'm talking about, then ask them, ask their advice. And I'm pretty sure we can drop some of their LinkedIn links in the description as well. So absolutely brilliant. Sondra, I hope that set the tone for our discussion this evening. I think let's have fun with this one.
Yes, I tell Peter this is definitely a topic that is all Peter. Peter is definitely a relationship builder. And I truly am the same. Like, I'm very big on relationships, building and getting to know people. I think that's one thing that sets me apart as a coach is I work with your personal goals and your business goals, because if you don't take care of yourself personally, how in the world are you going to do a business? Not well, because I'm watching a lot of people struggle with that, including myself sometimes. So I did make sure I did self-care this weekend, Permelia. So after a very rough week. So I know that, yeah, I was point blank asked by my client on Saturday. He's like, "What will you be doing for yourself this weekend? I want you to take care of you." He didn't have to do that. He's my client. I'm paid to work for him. We were friends before we were clients, and I find that true. I find my clients that are long-term clients we were friends before, or we quickly became friends from the get-go. Stay around a lot longer than people that don't want a relationship. They just want you to do the work and get out. That's just been my observation in the last 5 years. So if those don't turn into long-term relationships or customers, those are short-term, get it done, move on, which even though I say get it done does not mean I want to get it done and move on. I want to get it done and keep helping you. So I love that. I love that. I would like to, I was trying to think of a question, because what best types of relationships have helped you in your business, grow your business, helped you in your business, period? Like, is it the short term? Is it the long term? Is it the non-authentic ones? Like, what has worked for you in building your businesses? We've all been in the business for a while. There's no newbies on the screen. So that's my question. What relationships and types of relationships have helped you build your business? If nobody raised their hand, y'all know I'm going to call on you. Permela's like, "Oop, nope, let me do it." If you want to be called on, I had to get corrected on that this last week, Peter. Peter had to correct me on that one. But everybody in this room right now knows I'm going to call on them. That's a set time with these particular people. Go ahead, Permela. Good
Okay,
morning.
this
I know
be
it's morning. Go ahead.
Lesetja by a tiny little.
He's gonna say ladies first. So go ahead. I just know him. I know him. He's honorable that way. He's gonna, aren't you?
Sondra, you just
Well, to answer your question,
Yeah.
definitely long-term relationships have been. Now, I've been in business for, well, my other company for 10 years, and then been building the Healing Institute for 3 years. And definitely long-term relationships have helped me grow. And someone mentioned something the other day which really struck a note with me. They called us the microwave generation, in that we want things fast, quick, without, and this is a perfect topic because things aren't going to show up fast and quick. Definitely not in business. You have to be in for the long haul. And one of the things that you mentioned, Peter, about listening, that is so important. We need to give courses on how to listen. I mean, I know there are courses on how to listen, but when we're engaging with somebody, especially somebody new that we've never met before, or let's say we've known them for a while on a networking platform, but we haven't actually had a one-on-one with them, we have to listen to what they're telling us instead of thinking about what we are going to say. Yeah, 2 years in one mouth. Reason we have that. Instead of thinking about what you're going to say when they finish talking. And I have found that happen so many times, whether it was an online networking platform or an in-person networking platform. You can almost see their eyes glazing over as they're thinking about what they're going to say and how they're going to respond to you, rather than actually really listening to what you're saying. So I think that is really important. And I love the other point that you made. I mean, you made lots of really good points, Peter, but the other one that stood out for me was share, not sell. Let's share. Let's just share. And you never know what kind of collaboration could be available. And that's the word that came up for me too, collaboration, not selling, and not trying to push your product or your service, but be in collaboration, however that might look. And it's going to look different for everybody. So that's my 2 bits worth. Thank you.
Permela, don't forget to say your business.
Oh yes, sorry. We all know each other, but anyway, yes. So Permelia Parham, the Healing Institute. We are a virtual global hub of holistic practitioners, and we are out to heal the world.
Oh, I love that. I really like the fact that you highlighted listening. And I think we need to add to that, because there's a difference between listening and hearing. If you're listening and you hear, leads to understanding. But if you just listen so that you can be strategic as to what to say next, then you're not hearing and you're not understanding. And I think that's the point that Permelia was making, where their eyes just glaze over because they're not really interested in what you're saying. They're just planning what they're going to say next to make a sale. I avoid those meetings 100%. When I send invitations out to people and I say, come and join us at an event, it's on the peripheral of our space. It doesn't cost anything. There's no cost involved. Come meet some people. And they don't respond by going, oh, thank you. They respond by going, have you seen my latest product? When are we meeting to discuss my product? And I'm like, we're not. We're not meeting at all. It's not going to happen. This is something that Janine will completely understand, especially being in the sales game and understanding relationships. So I think that's very important. Don't just listen to be strategic. Listen to hear, to understand. Be human. I think that's very important. Lesetja, I see you had your hand up next. This is also a networker of note. If somebody hears and understands, that would be Lesetja.
No, Peter, I saw a video clip earlier about somebody starting a business for the first time, and this person is playing golf on ice. So he hits the ball, or she hits the ball, misses it, falls and cracks the ice and falls into the water. So that's your business for the first time. And I think I just wanted to mention that after what Permelia said. But Peter, I joined I joined Explore ProTech expecting to be able to sell my product to a network of people. That's what I was expecting. And over the year, over one long year and a bit, I've learned that you don't just go out to people and sell to them. And I'm practicing that in my business at the moment. Go out, listen to somebody. And as you were saying now, don't listen to be able to respond. Listen to understand. I think I mentioned last week, some of us go out with a presentation. You want to go and present this to somebody. You go there, you don't assess the situation, you just want to present. Even when that person is speaking, you're not listening to understand, you're listening so you can answer and, twist their arm so they can buy your product. That's not going to help. I've learned that you just have to go out there and network. And when you network, it's not about you, it's about the other person. I mean, I connect a lot with people on LinkedIn, and after connecting with them, I always send them a message to thank them for, joining my network. Most of them respond, and then you leave it for a few days, and then you just check on them, how they are doing. And I connect them intentionally for their business. But I don't go out and say, this is what I'm selling. They can see on my profile where I am. But I'll not go out and say, this is what I'm selling, this is what I'm doing, are you interested? Because that's not good. You're not networking, you're selling. And the global sales mentor is in the room today. So if you are going out to go and sell, you're not going to win. You are not going to win. You are going to bounce and bounce and bounce until you crack, because you are going there not to solve somebody else's problem. You are going there to sell a product. When they say to you, this is the issue that I have, this is what's happening, you just want to sell your product and not listen to what they are saying so you can understand and solve their problem. So I've learned, and thanks Peter for starting this let me just say organization, because it is, I've learned how to network, and I've learned how to engage with people. I think I've spoken to each and every one of us here, and even those that I haven't joined, but I've never sold them my product. It's not about the product. It's about us as people. I spoke to one young man earlier, and he said he wanted to connect with me because he wanted to learn from the older generation. And I said to him, you'll be surprised how much I'm going to learn from you, because you coming up with new things that we never knew, and we've got to learn. So we are both going to learn from each other. What do I want from him? I want business from him. When is it going to happen? We'll see when it happens. For now, I know his family. I know what he's doing. I know he loves charity work. I know what he's trying to do in business. So I know a lot about him. Later, when the time comes for me to sell my product, I'll be able to sell, because I've assessed and I know a whole lot about him that I can say to him, this is what I can help you with. As simple as that. Thank you so much. This is Lesetja Mokou from Lesetja Mokou, your business development agent.
Thank you, Mr. L. Love that, love that. I will block or delete you if your first message is come join my blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, we just connected. It's not even been 2 seconds. No. Now you've lost me because I don't even want to have a relationship with you because, yeah, as Janine says, a big old X. So shout out to Gareth who has joined us live on YouTube. I might have poked him or invited him to come along. So grateful. I told him you have to watch the beginning because we did talk about him. I do want to hear from the sales mentor because I do want to hear how relationship building gets to the sale, because I get told that I don't do great at selling because I'm really focused on the relationship and that I should be better at selling. And I'm like, okay, well, I just want the relationship. Won't it happen? And I get told, no, that doesn't work that way. But I want to hear from you because I'm extremely excited to hear your perspective. And yeah, go ahead, Janine.
I want to tell you with all the love in my heart, ditch those people. Because forget fancy products and strategies. It's not about that. The secret sauce is the easiest thing we can do as humans, and that is building relationships. That is what we are here to do on this earth. And it's the lasting ones that makes the difference. And I kind of want to say, it is a transactional thing, definitely, because if I'm going to smile and make you feel good, what am I going to get in return? Oh, baby, you're going to smile back. You are going to smile back because I just took you from A to B without any transactions from a financial point of view. And that's what's beautiful. So relationships are truly built, and we've mentioned this now on numerous occasions, on trust, respect, understanding each other's goals, finding out what each other's goals really are, and having those open conversations. And that's exactly what Explore ProTech has done for me and my business. From a personal perspective and from a professional perspective, is really that listening aspect. And what I've also picked up a long time ago is to pause sometimes, because we tend to just react and respond and take the dinosaur and put it back in the cage, because it's not the time to do that. Relax, pause, and really take in the emotion that's taking place with you and the person that you're taking the time to meet, to know. The money will come later. Don't get me wrong, money is not everything, but it makes the world go round, right? But relationships is what really connects all those dots to make that circle go round. I will not be where I am today on many aspects in my life if it wasn't for the connections I've made in my life, the mentors, the coaches. I can highlight a few, but there's not enough time. It's not my day. It's about making those connections, and I love every single one of them. And without relationships, there isn't a way. That is your compass. So absolutely, long-term is the way to go. And just a reminder that once again, that building relationships is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I'm Janine from Jelani Sales. Think of me as your co-pilot in an airplane, navigating your sales challenges one day at a time.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. I think Janine, there is a particular moment in time where after building a relationship, that person will let you know that they might need what you have to sell, which is the point that you actually step forward as the salesperson and go, well, this is what I have, and this is what it will do for you, and this is how my product can help you build and grow and develop. And you're doing it in such a way that what you're providing for them is creating so much value for them that you're doing it out of the relationship and not out of a sales pitch, but you're still selling your product. And they will let you know when the time is right, because the time is not right all the time for all the people. And I think that's when it becomes a numbers game. If I just push my product to 1,000 people, if only so many people take my product, I've made so many sales. It becomes number crunching. But when you do the same thing out of relationship building, every single one of those people at some point in time will need your service or your product. And if they don't need it, they will know somebody that does. And based on the relationship, they will make that introduction to somebody that you already know needs your product. But then you don't start by pushing your product straight on that person just because they need it. You start with building the relationship and they step into buying your product naturally. So, and Janine, you'll know exactly when that point in time is. It's like a very precise point in time. If anybody could pick it out, it would be you. Janine, I see your hands up again. Do you want to jump back into the conversation?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to, because it is so vital what you just said now, because when I worked in corporate, in sales, obviously, I walked into a company where I didn't have a database. I had to work my butt off to find clients, knock on doors, the whole cold calling, the everything. And I met this one guy. He said to me, he signed a year contract with someone. Maybe I can connect with him in a year's time. And I was like, oh man, I really needed the sale, but it's okay. Every month for 13 months, I went there, and all I did is I walked around. It was a painting shop. I walked around and they had a coffee corner, and I had coffee there. I bought a coffee and I sat. I didn't talk to him. I didn't sell anything. I literally just went in, had a conversation in the sense of, oh, I saw this new product or whatever the case may be. For 13 months, I did that. On the 14th month, he phoned me and said to me, you have been on my mind. I need to see you because I need to redo my outdoor marketing strategy and I need your help. It wasn't him telling me that he wants to use my services, but he needed my help. And that's exactly what I went out there and I actually gave him guidance as to what he needs to do. And the long story short is I signed him eventually in the 15th month, I have to add. But my point is that my selling time is not the person I'm talking to's purchasing time. Listen to what I'm saying. My selling time is not the purchasing time of the person who is sitting in front of you. I'm going to leave you with that.
I love that. I love that, Janine. So mine was 4 years and she finally signed it into December, 4 years, 2019, July of 2019 to December of 2023. So I can say though, I was not consistent as you as far as keeping in touch. So it may have been a little faster, but yeah, and it was her coming to me and going, I know you do something like this and this is what I need. I know I need accountability. How does it work? And we were off and running 6 weeks in. So yeah, I agree. Your selling time is not their purchasing time. And if you're not solving their problem that they are here, that they need right now, then you need to wait. You need to be like, hey, I'll be here when you do, I don't want to say when you do have this problem or when it works best for you. And I think I will tell people, I'll be like, you don't need to hire me. You need to go get X, Y, and Z. And again, I have people go, why would you do that? I'm like, because they don't need me. They need this type of person. That's not me. So let me make that connection. Whether it's a Somerville, a Janine, or whatever, and get them what they need, because they're going to come back. And the last one did. 6 months later, she called me on the phone. She's like, thank you for connecting me with her. It has been amazing. My first VA worked out amazing. It's been amazing. And, it made me happy. I didn't make a penny and I'm not worried about it. It really wasn't about me making money. It was about her meeting her goals, which is my passion, is people reaching their goals. So it doesn't have to be about me making money. It has to be about me building the relationships and knowing the people I can resource to and send people to that will do their job, because that has been an issue too. So like you said, being yourself, but also standing behind your word and producing what you said you're going to produce, I think is the thing I'm learning in relationship building, that not everybody does as they say. So I've got a lot more careful making sure that I've worked with somebody way more before I refer them to people. So definitely. Come on in, Mr. L.
Janine made a very, very good point about, when she was relating a story. And to sum that up is have patience. Don't go out there rushing. Have patience. And the other good thing about what you said, Janine, is keep showing up. And I think that's what Permelia also mentioned, follow up. Following up is not, so when are you buying or when are you signing up? No, it's just showing up, show interest in their business. If you something out or if you want to ask something about their business, you ask because you are interested in their business. Ask. So how do you do this? I'm meeting with somebody tomorrow from one of the big manufacturing and retailing companies. He is not in my market, but I need his company. So I'm going to meet with him. He asked me, so what are we meeting for? And I said, let's just have coffee. I want to learn about what you do. I want to learn about you. And he agreed based on that. It may take me 2 years, 3 years to learn the business, but it's okay. I'm happy to walk the journey because, as you said, Janine, it's about value and not speed. I'm coaching a lot more today because I've been missing you. Okay.
Oh, I love that. I think we can take this topic of building professional and meaningful relationships, and we can line it up with startup entrepreneurs. When you're a startup entrepreneur, it doesn't matter whether you're in your first year, your first couple of months, whether you are established and you've been around for years, it makes no difference. When you're building meaningful relationships and strategic relationships and you understand the people around you, you then have the ability to, based on those relationships, be strategic as to how you build because you have access to skills that are not your own. If you can position yourself like that, you can create a space, and without employing anyone, you can rely on the skills of the people around you to get what you need because they are your solution. But at the same time, because you're open, you become their solution too. So when you've built a space like that, everybody in the space should grow and build. And we're all part of everybody's journey. But if it's just about I sell you something, oh, you're not buying, I'm out of here, next person, you're going to be on your own for a long, long time, and you're going to burn out real quick. Like I said before, this space is run by multiple skill sets in the background, not just my own. If everyone here had to rely on my skills, oh, you'd be in deep trouble. Oh, you don't understand. I am so dyslexic, it's not funny. The amount of skills that I have to rely on that are not my own, Somerville in the background, Susan in the background. These are people you don't see, but there's relationships in place, and I rely on their skills, and they rely on mine. Sondra, to a huge degree, even just the show and in this space, not my skills, not mine. Did we build it? Yes, we did. So let it sink in a little bit. As a fresh entrepreneur, you don't have to go it alone. Don't. It's really simple. Exercise some of these skills. You'll be surprised what happens. Hendrick, always look forward to what you have to say, brother.
Thank you, Peter. Good evening, everyone. So for me, building meaningful and lasting relationships goes with most of the things that you've already said. Consistency. You need to be consistent. You need to be loyal to the people that are already, the ones that you already have relationships with, because it doesn't assist you in lending the client only to start being or doing the total opposite of what you've been preaching all along after taking maybe 2 or 3 years to learn them. And again, we need to be always ready to learn. Either you learn or there needs to be change. Every conversation you have with someone, you need to be ready to listen to them, understand their problems. Empathy goes a long way. And the moment you put yourself in someone's shoes, someone you're trying to build a relationship with, that helps you also in showing up. I'm going to use this one as an example that if you are fixed, you've focused on a certain goal and your goalpost move for a certain reason, you still need to take your shot when it's your turn. So that comes when you are consistent, when you are positive, and you are aware of your surroundings. So that's all that I have to add today. My name is Hendrick from Teresano Earth Movers in Mpumalanga.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, Hendrick. Two things. One, loyalty. That is, I don't know, maybe it's a generational thing, but it is hard to come by in this time and age, unfortunately. And I was talking to a client and I'm like, I'm being loyal. Like I'm here. I don't want to really talk about who did you wrong. Like I'm here now. So like, what can we do to move forward? The coulda, woulda, shoulda isn't going to move the goalpost forward. And that was the second part, celebrating every step of the way in your journey and having people celebrate with you. So the Monday goal setting sessions I do as a group, we start with wins. Always start with wins. We always start with wins. And your win can be, you are here today breathing. My biggest win from last week is I survived because yeah, the week chewed me up and spit me out. True honesty. And that was my first win, was like, I survived, the January into February. I was like, oh, this will be great. We're getting into a new month. Yeah, didn't quite roll the way I thought it was going to, but that's fine. But I survived. And my clients were thanking me for still doing work on Saturday because the first of the week just didn't work out to do work. So I did work on a Saturday, which I don't usually do. But they were grateful that I was willing to put in the extra to make up for the time freedom I do have as a business owner and flexibility. So very big on celebrated wins. And like you said, the goalpost sometimes moves and a lot of times it's out of our control. But if we're being consistent, that's the other key word that Hendrick mentioned, is being consistent. And I think that's true about relationship building. You need to be consistent. You talk to somebody and you don't talk to them for a year later, like a lot changes in a year. My goal is to talk to people at least quarterly. That's been my goal. Quarterly check-ins. I'm very inconsistent. I need to work on that. It's true vulnerability. But yeah, that's my goal, is quarterly, because things change, life changes, life happens. You might have pivoted in your business or let your business go, or you're relaunching, which I would have told you that in October of last year. So if you haven't talked to me in 6 months, you wouldn't have a dang clue that's what's going on. So yeah, I think that's super important. And being empathetic, of what people are doing and how their lives are going. I think that's important. Mr. L just said that. Because you can relate. I think as business owners, building relationships also has to do with being able to relate to each other and be like, I've been there, or I'm going through that, or I get it. It's hard right now, or I'm a mom, so I get that X, Y, and Z is going on. So yeah, I think it's extremely important in relationship building to be able to relate to each other, for sure. Permelia, go ahead.
So I think someone said, whoever said it, about the follow-up. That is so important. We've been on these networking Zoom calls probably for going on 3 years now. And a lot of people think that even when you get into a Zoom room, that is kind of the relationship, or you're building the relationship. But people don't follow up. People don't have a strategy to follow up with whoever. So this is my strategy, and it works for me. There's another networking group that I'm part of that you may recognize. I won't mention the names, but they're a good networking group. And, you know, one of the founders of it always says, book the meeting in the meeting. Well, that doesn't work for me because I have an electronic calendar and I have a paper calendar, and I need to look at my calendar and make sure that I've got enough time and room to book what I call a discovery call. So what I do is I save the chat, and then I go through the chat afterwards, and anybody that I've talked to in a smaller Zoom room, I make notes if I want to follow up with them. And then after I've saved the chat, after the event's over, and I go through the chat, I check to see, okay, who is it that I wanted to follow up with? And I go to LinkedIn and I connect with them on LinkedIn, and I send them a message with my calendar link on LinkedIn saying, I would like to follow up with you. Now, I'm going to add to that, because I loved what Lesetja said around thanking them for being part of your network, and then following up a few days later to see how they are. Now, that's relationship building. That's not just trying to sell to somebody. So I really love that, those points. Thank you for that. I'm going to add those. But that is just really what's important for people to understand. They're not going to have a relationship with anyone if they don't follow up. That's my 2 bits. Again.
Well, I like that. I think the whole point of building relationships, and it sounds like a lot of hard work. You got to maintain all these relationships, but there is a very simple trick. No, you don't have to be the one maintaining the relationships. What you do have to do is help foster those people building relationships with other people. By doing so if I go to Sondra and Sondra goes, I'm not the person that's actually meant to help you. My particular service doesn't quite give you what you need, but this person's service actually does, and you facilitate them building a relationship with somebody else. That keeps that person within your sphere of influence, and you are not the one that has to keep consistently following up in pushing for a sale, because they are in your sphere of influence. So by helping people foster relationships with each other, all you're doing is becoming their hero, the person that actually saw what their problem was and actually positioned somebody else to be the hero to fix that problem, which is exactly what they needed. And when they need something, they're going to come right back to the person that helped them in the first place. Oh, I have this problem now. Oh, that's actually something I do. My product actually does solve that problem. Now it becomes a client based on a trusted relationship. So if you think that it's just about, I build relationships, and then all have the relationships with me. I'm building all these relationships, I'm juggling all these relationships. The answer is no, you shouldn't be doing that. What you should be doing is creating a space where you can help so many people build so many relationships with each other. You just become the hero. I don't sit on Zoom all day trying to reconnect with all the reconnections that I have to connect with to maintain a relationship. No siree. They know who I am. They know where I am. They know what I do. I just happen to have introduced them to somebody that solves their issue, solves their problem. When they need something, they'll come right back to me. And I don't have the heavy lifting load of trying to push that relationship. No. So I think that's an important thing to take note of. Instead of pushing all the time, it's actually not that difficult. So fostering relationships with others is as important as trying to foster your own relationship with others. If you can't help somebody, make sure you know someone that can. Life-changing, absolutely life-changing. Lesetja, bring your wisdom.
You know, Peter, when you mention fostering relationships, somebody was saying to me, maybe I need to start charging for pointing people to the right people. Because somebody will say, I need something like this. Like, I think this person can help you. And then I connect them. The nice thing about it is, this is exactly what you're saying. The nice thing about it is that person will come back to you and say, thank you for helping me with that. And the next time they're looking for something else, they're going to come back to you. Even if it's got nothing to do with you, even if you're not related to it, they'll still come back to you because you formed this base of support for them. You formed this, let me call it a knowledge base. All these people that can help them. They are the ones that are going to be fostering the relationship with you and not the other way around. You'll just be sitting and somebody will get back to you and say, how are you doing? Thank you for helping me with this. And this is how far we are. And that's a relationship. That's exactly how you do it. You don't have to, as you say, Impira, you don't have to be chasing after people each and every day. No. Make a space, create a space where you become a valuable asset to them. Let them come back to you and say, well, thank you. This is what's happening. This is how far we are. Do you know somebody that can do this? I mean, somebody was asking me yesterday, they want to apply to a position in RAF or something. And they were asking me, do you know somebody in RAF? I'm like, let me have a look around. Maybe I do. That person, even if I don't know anybody, whenever they need help, they're going to come back to me. And we've got that relationship now. So they don't have to be looking at whoever. They just know we've got somebody that we can trust Hendrick, loyalty, that, can help us along the way. And I've got a relationship with all those people, which is amazing. Thanks for mentioning that, Pira.
Thank you, Mr. L. And I've actually been told the same thing. I should charge a referral fee. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really feel it. Now, if you have an affiliate, like if you have an affiliate program set up, I'll sign up to be your link and use that link. I don't have a problem with that because you've set that up and that's how you want people referred to you. I think that's fine. But yes, I've been told more than once, get people to, and I'm like, yeah, no, I just feel, now, if you keep coming to me time after time and I'm spending a ton of time doing it, then that's a service. Like if it's just a real quick thing, but if I'm spending months and like hours and hours researching and getting you the perfect fit, that's a little bit different. I feel, and that I might charge for, though I still haven't done that either. But but yeah, I'm the same way. I would rather, just be able to refer them. But yeah, I have no problem with affiliate links. I'm supposed to have my own setup, but that's a whole different story. I've set them up for clients, so I know what they are, and I know how. And I've actually made a few bucks doing affiliate links, but that's different. That's the way they want their business structured. So, oh, Hendrick, you did not want to share that. Okay, I fixed it. Technology is great. Janine, come on in, and then we're gonna start wrapping up. Go ahead, hon.
Awesome. Thanks for allowing me to hop in quickly. It sounds amazing that we all build these relationships and we keep following up and we're doing stuff, but I want people to think about it. It's like, you wouldn't do a rock concert without practicing, right? So these things that we are all talking about, it takes practice and some preparation to build these long-term relationships. It doesn't just poof, magic wand happens. And I think most people think that that's the case, but it's not. Building trust takes time. Building those connections, building respect, it takes time. And I think that it comes back to it's a marathon, not a sprint, because being consistent with someone, like the following up, it's so important. If you're not consistently following up, I might forget about you and like, poof, okay, well, bye, Felicia. You are the weakest link, but it's that consistency that really, really plays a role. And my point really is just go out and meet the right people. And the only way you're going to do that is really build your own confidence and connect with those people. Get out to the right networks, like Explore ProTech. Hashtag just saying, build your tribe.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And I think just to kind of finalize the conversation, networking events should be the place where we actually practice this. Unfortunately, they've been diluted. So we need to find the 10% of networking groups. Is it just Explore ProTech? No, 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 no. There are some incredible networking groups out there. Find them. And if you go to an event and it's just a sales pitch and you don't even get an opportunity to meet people, then that's not where you want to be. Find a space that works for you. Find a space where you can communicate. You actually get given an opportunity to speak. That's where you get to practice your relationship building. I think, Sondra, what we can do is we can actually put the link to the next Gossen event. Can we not? Maybe
I have the date. I'd have to go grab the link, but I did. So the
we
next
can-
one is February 29th. So it's always the last Thursday of the month in February. It's leap year. So there's a last Thursday of the month. But yeah, I can work on that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Awesome. No, and come and experience a space where you can actually meet people and actually talk to them and actually get to meet each other. Maybe it just gives you a basis on what kind of space you're looking for, and then go and hunt for those spaces and function in them and practice this, because like Janine said, it doesn't just naturally happen. So Sondra, I think I'm going to hand over to you, because I know we're wrapping this up, and I know that there are some things that need to be mentioned in the background before we wrap up. So
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna put the generic website. We need to fix something on the back end for the event, so we'll discuss that. I'm noticing. So yes, so Goslin event, which is Explore ProTech's monthly event, is on February 29th. It's always the last Thursday of the month usually. What else? I am grateful for Susan, who does our show notes. She does the timestamps, she does the covers. Yay, Susan. Grateful for you. She also turns it into Spotify, so make sure you like and follow us on Spotify. Please, please, please like and share the show. Invite people to the live show. I do interact with people. Mr. L can testify. I do interact during the show. He watches, he does sometimes too. And thank you, Gareth, for watching the live show today. There were some other people on, but they didn't say anything, so I can't shout them out. So definitely be talkative. That's why it's a live show, is to interact not only in the room, but on the YouTube too. So I think that is it. Oh, and then the blog, I did put the link in the chat, and then I'll also put it in the comments. And then of course, Miss Susan will put not only the blog link for Peter, but she will also put all the lovely people you see on the screens, LinkedIn links in the show notes, so that you can connect with us and get to know us better, because we all want to build relationships with all of you. Because like Peter said, entrepreneurship does not need to be lonely. You can build people around you. I am Sondra Ray. I'm your Get It Done coach. I help you reach your goals by doing bite-sized action plans and holding you accountable. As Miss Nestine always says, we want to wish you and tell you that we wish that all your entrepreneurial dreams come true. We will see you next week, same time, same place.
Thanks, everyone. This was a great conversation. Loved it.